All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to unpack a really fascinating and, frankly, a very different approach to artificial intelligence. We're not talking about something that lives in a giant data center somewhere. No, this is about an AI that could live right on your own computer.
So let's just start with this one question, because it really flips the script on how we usually think about AI. Instead of some pre-trained, all-knowing genius up in the cloud, what if the AI on your computer was more like a helpful apprentice? Someone who starts out simple, learns directly from you, and just gets better and better over time by actually doing stuff on your machine.
And this really gets to the heart of it, right? It's a tale of two AIs. On one side, you've got these giant cloud AIs. And yeah, they're super powerful, no doubt. But they're also trained on, the entire internet. They operate as these mysterious black boxes, and they need these massive energy-guzzling server farms to even exist. But on the other hand, what we're talking about today is a local apprentice, an AI that lives right there on your PC. It learns by watching what you do. And this is the key part, it's totally transparent in how it works.
I love this quote because it just nails the vision. The goal here isn't to create some kind of instant genius out of the box. Nope. It's about building a reliable helper, an apprentice that grows with you, on your terms, and on your very own device. It's a huge shift in thinking, really. We're moving from just consuming AI to actually cultivating it.
Okay, so the big question is, how does an apprentice like this actually learn anything? Well, it's all thanks to this really powerful concept called tier emergence.
So, what exactly is tier emergence? Honestly, the best way you think about it is like building with Legos. You don't just get a complex spaceship in the box, right? You start with simple, reliable little bricks. Tier emergence is exactly that idea. It's the concept that you can create really sophisticated, intelligent behavior just by layering simple, understandable functions on top of each other. It's a total bottom-up approach. You compose the basics into something way, way bigger.
And this whole progression, it really works like a ladder. You start at the bottom rung, tier 1, which is just reflex, a simple see something, do something loop. Then, it climbs up a rung and learns to reflect on its own actions, creating memories of what worked. From there, it gets to tool plan, where it can actually chain different skills together. And then, at this top tier we see here, self-curriculum. The AI starts inventing new tasks for itself, just to practice and learn. It is literally teaching itself new tricks. How cool is that?
Okay, so how does it actually do anything? Whether it's the simplest reflex or a complex plan, it all boils down to this fundamental three-step loop. You can think of it as the system's basic heartbeat.
Step 1, it observes. It's just watching for something to happen on your computer. Could be anything, really. A new file shows up in a folder, a certain app window pops open, or maybe you hit a specific keyboard shortcut. Step 2, it processes what it just saw. It checks that event against the rules or patterns it already knows. It's asking itself questions like, hey, does this file name have the word invoice in it? Or, wait, is this the app I was told to keep an eye on?
And finally, step 3. If the conditions are right, it executes an action. Simple as that. It might rename that file, or maybe move it to a different folder, or even start typing some text into an app window for you.
So that simple cycle, observe, process, execute, or you could call it the OPE loop, that's the engine for everything. It's a simple, reliable, and totally inspectable loop. It's the fundamental building block for every single thing the system learns, right from the ground up. And it's interesting, the source material points out this idea is borrowed from a theory called practopoiesis.
All right, so let's see how this thing builds on itself to become even more powerful. Because it doesn't just learn things, it actually documents what it learns. And it does this using a really cool concept they call skill DNA.
Now this is so important. The learning process here is not some black box mystery, not at all. Every single skill this apprentice learns gets stored as skill DNA. And what is that? It's basically a small human-readable recipe. You could literally open a text file and see the exact steps it's going to take. It would say something like, Step 1, launch notepad.exe. Step 2, wait for the window named untitled-notepad to appear. Step 3, send the keystrokes Hello World. It's designed to be transparent from the get-go.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But let's bring it back down to earth. How would this system actually run on a regular old PC?
Well, the whole system is built from these small, dedicated little worker processes. They're called composable primitive pods, or CP pods for short, and each one has a very specific job. You've got the observers. They're like the system's eyes and ears, just watching for stuff to happen. Then you have the processors. That's the brain, applying the rules. The executors are the hands, actually doing the work. And finally, you have memory, which is basically the system's notebook, where it keeps all its skills and experiences.
And here's how all those abstract pods actually translate into real actions on your computer. So, an observer pod, in this case, a file system watcher, it sees a new file pop up. Then a processor pod, a pattern matcher, checks the file name. Does it say invoice? If it does, boom, an executor pod kicks in, uses a little PowerShell sandbox, and renames and moves the file for you. It's a complete working automation loop built from these simple pieces.
So what's the big takeaway here? I think it's just how fundamentally different this model is. First, it's local first and private. That means your data and its learning stay on your machine, period. Second, it's transparent and auditable. You can literally read the skill DNA for every single thing it knows how to do. And third, it's compositional. It builds complex skills from simple, verifiable parts. The whole point is to give you, the user, back the control and understanding.
And that leaves us with one final really thought-provoking question. It completely reframes our relationship with AI. It makes us stop asking, what does that giant AI in the cloud know? And instead start asking, what's the very first repetitive, annoying task on my computer that I would teach my own personal apprentice to do for me? It really puts the power to automate your own life directly into your hands. So, what would you teach it?